Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on how we can actually transform these employees data. As we can refer on this data over here, we do have this employees ID, their name, their job title, their department and their date of birth and hire date. So based on this given data, can we determine the age of employees and can we determine how many years they work in this company? Well, in order to do so, we can actually use Power Query. So the first thing is you highlight this entire data using Control A. So when you press Control A, you will highlight the entire data and then you go to data, you go to get and transform data. You click on from table/range. So automatically a small box will appear. My table has header and then you press OK. So when you press OK, you will go to the Power Query editor. So from this Power Query editor, basically you can actually determine the age of the employee. Meaning to say, if just say I click this, I go to add column and I click the date and I can choose the age. So once I choose the age, so from here, we can actually see what is the age of the employees. But if you look carefully, this age is actually in the days. So we can go to transform, we can go to the duration and then we can choose to total years. So once we choose total years, so now we can see the age of the employees. But instead of in decimal point, I can actually go to rounding and I can click to round and maybe I can just click to round to 0 decimal places. And then what I do is I press OK. So now we have down to 0 decimal places. So now we do have the age of the employees. Now the next thing is how we can know what is their work of experience or number of years they provided the service to this company. So what we can do is we can actually go to add column and then we can click to custom column. So from the custom column, what we can do is we can actually find the current date. Date, time, local, now. So date, time, local, now. So this thing is basically calculates the current date. I open bracket, close bracket and then I press OK. So once I press OK, this currently shows the current date. Okay, the formula is date, time, full stop, local, now. So the next step is what we do is we want to find the difference between the current date and also the date they join. So first and foremost, I click this into a normal date format. So now we have a date format which is the today's date and we do have the higher date. So what we do next is, we go to add column, we go to custom column and then what we do, we want to find basically the difference between the current date, today date and the higher date. So what I'm going to do is I just want to put here date year. So we want to find the date year and then open bracket date from. So we put this date from what date? From the custom date. Okay, and then close bracket minus date year. Okay, tab, open bracket date from. Okay, open bracket and I want to choose the higher date. So I just press tab, close bracket and now what I do, I press OK. So automatically now we can see what is the years of service they have provided. So based on the given data, we can understand that this particular employee has worked for 1 year, meanwhile this employee worked for almost 10 years and this employee worked for almost 19 years. And then what we can do is we can rename. Basically, we can actually rename this. This is the current date. And then this one, we can actually rename this to the years of, maybe years of service. And then what we can do, we can just change the format. We change to whole number format. So now when we press home and we press close and load, from based on this given data, we can actually understand the years and also the age of the employee. So if just say now I put a new employee, I put here maybe ABC and I put here 2008. And then this employee, his name is Noor Arif Au. And then he just say he works as an accountant and he works in a department called finance and he is more to the corporate. And just say Arif bonds on 14 June 1984 and then he has got hired on 1st January 2012 and then he gets an annual salary just say of 80,000. So now if just say we do have this data, we have an additional data. What we can do is now we have amended and then we go to table 1, we right click and we click refresh. So once we click refresh, we can know what is the age of the new candidate, new employee, and also we can know how much years of services he has worked in this company.